Hello teacher and friends. Welcome to my presentation on Intel Teach Essentials course 2016. My name is Nguyễn Ngọc Mai and the lecturer of this course is Mr. Lê Nguyễn Như Anh. Today, I'm going to present three main points in my portfolio. First of all is the unit portfolio. The second one is unit plan. And the last one is the assessment plan. Before we go to the main part, the book I'll be teaching is Oxford Solutions, second edition, intermediate students book. And my unit will be Unit 2, Looking Back. Now let's start by looking at Part 1, Unit Portfolios. Basically, it consists of 5 folders. In assessment, I have 8 different methods of assessing my students' performance, including collaboration self-assessment, conference question, goal-setting prompt, group observation checklist, KWL chart, paragraph writing rubric, presentation rubric, and reflective journals. In student sample, I have created 2 samples for my students to refer to. One PowerPoint for the topic, one of the anniversaries in your country, and a reflection writing for them to take a look at what they have learned through the unit. In student support, I provide them 3 materials. The first one is a PowerPoint guiding to write a paragraph. The second one is the textbook they will use in class. And the last one is to help them plan their presentation. In teacher support, there are 2 folders. The first one consists of all the audio files for the listening test, and the other one is the teacher's book. In the last folder, there is a unit plan describing a specific procedure of teaching the unit. So that's all I'd like to introduce about the unit portfolio. Move on to the second part. I'll talk about the unit plan. First, the unit title is Looking Back. I'd like to summarize the unit. It includes the following parts: vocabulary, grammar, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The topics mainly surround memory and experience. Through the main parts, my students can improve their grammar in terms of past tenses and learn how to use a variety of lexical items to describe their feelings. With a wide range of activities in the unit, my students can not only boost their English competence but gain more knowledge about culture and history. The presentation project and the reflection writing helps them to answer the unit question and to set further learning goals. After all activities and projects, each student will have their own opinion on the essential question: how can we encourage personal development? The subject area is English and my students will be in grade 10. The approximate time needed is 3 weeks, 3 days per week, and 50 minutes per day. About the targeted content standards and benchmarks, I'd like to use the CEFR level B2, and I also want my students to achieve some of the 21st century skills. After the unit, I want my students to achieve this objective. They will be able to use a wide range of adjectives to describe feelings, describe a memorable experience using the past tense, express their understanding of the significance of important dates, understand a magazine article about people with memory loss, describe and react to a story, write a narrative paragraph. About the curriculum framing questions, it has one essential question that connects to the other unit in the book. That is, how can we encourage personal development? There are 2 unit questions. What is the meaning of the past and how have you improved your learning? And the last 3 questions will be focused on specific content such as what are important anniversaries in your country? In 3 weeks' time, my students will have a lot of activities to do. In week number 1, I will introduce the unit and teach them vocabulary, listening, and grammar. In week number 2, my student will continue to learn listening, speaking, and writing. In the last week, I will finish the unit by teaching reading. Then we move to the presentation day and my students will have to hand in their reflection writing as well. Before the presentation day, in week number 2, I will arrange a conference after class to answer their questions, monitor their progress, and provide additional help. I will inform them that they have one more week to finish their presentation and their reflection writing. I will also suggest some resources from which they can refer to, such as student support and student sample. Now, I'll move to the last part of this video, the assessment plan. This is a brief summary showing how my students are assessed throughout the unit. The assessment process can be fallen into 3 periods. At the beginning of the unit, I will show my students the KWL chart to judge their background knowledge on the topic of memory and experience. On the first day of the unit, I will introduce the project. I'll provide my students the goal-setting prompt to help them set goals, develop their plan, and timelines for completing their projects. Here is the form of the KWL chart and the goal-setting prompts. Besides, I'll give them paragraph writing rubric and presentation rubric to help them monitor their work on reflection writing and oral presentation. When my students work on the project of presentation, they will use the group observation checklist to assess other groups' performance. And after the presentation, I will provide them the collaboration self-assessment to help them assess their own collaboration skills. During and after the project, I will use the conference questions to check their current understanding and to ask them to share their achievements with the class. Finally, my students will be asked to complete reflective journals in which they will identify their strengths and weaknesses while working on the project. Here is the assessment timeline. By looking at it, I will know when to give my students the appropriate assessment. That also brings us to the end of my presentation. Thank you for your watching.